this ever happened to you, you work very, very hard on a paper for English Clash, and then get a very low grade, like a D, or even a D equals. And all because you are the liverwurst spoiler in the whale wide word.
What motivated you to leave the teaching profession and pursue poetry full time?
Well, for one thing, being a poet is a heck of a lot easier than being a teacher. I sometimes miss my students, but never before 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And I kept on having to beg time away from my students in order to fulfill my obligations as a professional poet. The single best indicator that the last year has been successful for me is that 6 people have considered becoming teachers.
Wow. Yeah.
6 people have come up to me and said, you know, because of your work, I think I'm going to be a teacher. So that, even if it's only 6 teachers, if they're 6 good teachers, that's fantastic.
That'd be fantastic.
That is a measure of my success.
There's people here from all types of perspectives, different places, experiences. I think it's enough for them to, you know, touch everybody out there.
Cars turning into bars with one lamp and piles of discarded clothing, and I heard myself say no over and over. But he didn't hear me, wouldn't listen when he called me a whore, pinned me down, and took the only innocence I had left.
Describe for me the poetry that you did for the Def Poetry Jam.
That's not light.
Oh.
That's okay.
People were feeling it. They were feeling it.
That actually is a really a hard piece for me to perform. I wrote it when I got back from Providence Nationals last year.
Yeah.
And it's all about my experiences as a young teenage girl and the pressures put on women to do whatever a man says. Like, you're told that, you know, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, you're told that you're a sex object, you're a body. And, you know, when I was given blowjobs when I was 14 years old, and it took me 11 years to even, you know, be able to express that. And I'm trying to reach out, I guess, to the younger generation of female poets and say, you know what, man, it doesn't have to be this way.
Yeah.
You know, you are beautiful, and there is no reason that any man should make you feel that way, ever.
Yeah.
You know, and if he does, then just psh.
Yeah.
And I was searching still for purity, lurking in hidden corners, hips swinging, lips pouting, and trading in shattered innocence for bared and brazen offerings. I learned how to control.
Now, what's this thing I heard about you being quoted as saying that you are an international woman of mystery?
Well, see, not yet. Not yet, but when I'm a superstar and I'm flying all across the world, and everybody will go, I know that girl, I've seen her, I know the laugh, but what does she do again? And everybody will just know me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to be infamous.
Infamous.
Infamous, yes.
Rather than famous. Infamous.
Rather than famous. Well, who wants to be famous, dude?
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere.
True, that's true.
You know?
True.
Infamous.
One of the things that I've found in doing research for the show and in preparing for it is that poetry's already made a comeback. Poetry is already out there. There are many people that are enjoying poetry shows at clubs and at venues in the various hometowns. There are many people writing poetry and more people performing poetry. I think what we're doing is trying to expose an already existing movement to a far larger television audience.
Hey, we're sitting here with Sarah Jones and Steve Coleman, staples on the poetry scene. Found love in the beauty of their words. Oh, deep.
It's a little saccharine up in here.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's okay.
I want to hear a poem. I want to learn something I didn't know. I want to say yes at the end because I'm sick of saying so.
Every generation has something new to say, and you know, and I think that this is a generation, our generation, that's just kind of now coming into its own. For me, poetry is, I guess, primarily about the words and the way that you construct words and create, make language even more beautiful than it already is, you know, and more meaningful, you know, and behind that is, for me, an attempt to create, you know, community in a time where I think that's breaking down a little bit.
How has being around the world broadened your vision?
Well, I think both Steve and I can speak to this. I mean, my personal experience, I've been, lucky enough to perform at the United Nations for like this enormous conference on women's rights issues with, just people, Gwyneth Paltrow, everybody that's concerned. If you've ever loved a woman or if you came out of a woman's womb, you need to be concerned, And so whether I'm talking to people here who are from other places or traveling, I've learned that we all have to look in our own backyard. That includes the United States, that includes countries abroad, whether you're talking about the Taliban and what's happening to women there being killed, just for being women. And it's all over. It's every country, it's every continent. We all need to step up.
Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Will not happen between these thighs. Will not happen between these thighs. The real revolution ain't about booty size.
I have a poem called Your Revolution. Which is something that I wrote from my heart, basically just trying to speak back to certain lyrics that I was hearing in the music that I love and that I'm so committed to, which is hip-hop, and getting, just a little tired of, like I said, this kind of monotonous subject matter. It was like, all right, we understand. Yeah, you bling bling. Yeah, you got 50 hoes a night. Okay, right. You got so much ice, you blinded me. Okay, I heard that. Don't get me wrong. I'm still enamored of this culture, hip-hop culture, and I think that the poetry movement that we're a part of is like inextricably linked to that.
Your revolution will not happen between these thighs. Will not happen between these thighs. Will not be you shaking and me eventually faking between these thighs, because the revolution, when it finally comes, it's gonna be real.
What really makes me most excited about deaf poetry is that poetry that really speaks to the hearts and minds of young people today.
Life lay way to big things that sit on the head heavy, that some put in their back pockets and hide away with fake smiles. And soon them things dwell in the head like lint. But it ain't lint, and it makes its invisibility felt. When it ain't dealt with, bite you in the ass. We write poems to not get bit in the ass. We write poems to get out them thoughts that lay restless on the soul, behind laughter when shit ain't funny, behind smiles when one ain't happy. Them thoughts that eat at your spirit, fear its own existence when you sit quietly on a train on your way to work. Them right there, that's the essence of your brain at work. Yeah, poems. Poems. We write poems. Life's speech, rhymes, and tones.